So welcome everyone. We are here today for a little introduction session to Japanese language, the basics. So for everyone watching on the live, welcome. For everyone who are gonna catch it later on the video, welcome on the channel. And yeah, so today we are gonna just go over the basics. This is newbie friendly. So if you have done nothing around Japanese language, it's not a problem for us today. It's just the very basics. How to read Japanese, how to write Japanese, how to pronounce it. So this is it. So in Japanese we have three systems. We have yeah. So we have Hiragana. We have Katakana. Oh, I heard something. I had something. Oh, Brick-a-Brack. Thank you for the follow. Welcome here. Yeah. So for those who are gonna watch the video later, just a reminder, I am live on Twitch, so there's gonna be some alerts, some shout outs to people, maybe. So yeah. Hoi. Hey, we come back. Welcome. Yeah, so I just began, so you missed nothing. I'm gonna record this. I'm recording this for later, for those who can't make it. Is the sound fine on your side? Can you confirm to me that you can hear me fine? Or do we have the usual technical issues like we have with us? Okay. So as I was saying, there are three writing systems. Nice. Okay. So I don't know about the delay, if there's a big delay or not, but from what I've seen, it should be fine. Okay, right. Okay. Yeah, so just a little reminder, I am French for everyone who is English, an English speaker. My English is fine, not great, so I'm gonna do my best. Sorry in advance. Yeah. So Japanese writing systems. We have three of them. There is Hiragana, Katakana, and Kanji. So I usually get delays. I'll just refresh every now and then. Okay, no problem with Brick-a-Brack. Yeah, it can happen that sometime later the gap gets bigger between the delay, I mean. So for everyone who is watching live, may just refresh and it should be back to normal most of the time. Yeah, just let me know if there is any issue and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so three systems. Hiragana and Katakana are syllabic systems, which means that yeah, usually in English and every Latin based language, we have an alphabet. In Japanese, it is not really an alphabet, it's a syllabic system. So this means that everything is a syllable. And basically you just get consonants and vowels together to make one syllable. So that's pretty much it for the basic. Hiragana is the system you can see on the left here, on the left side. So you can see just watching this, you can already see that it's mainly round characters. Everything is a bit roundish, as you can see. So Hiragana is how do I put it? Oh, so I lost the chat. So for those wondering, I have the chat on my phone here just to keep track of everything. I have only one screen, so it's a bit confusing, a bit complicated, we should say. So that's that. So hiragana is very roundish characters, while katakana are more, you can see on the right side, it's more like angular, very straight, very straight characters, and so that's basically the way you can differentiate between hiragana and katakana, is that hiragana are roundish and katakana are more straight. So that's it. What is the difference between the two? Hiragana are used for the usual Japanese words. They are used on a regular basis. Katakana are used more on writing foreign words. Like if you see English written in Japanese, it will use katakana system. As you can see, the syllables are exactly the same. It's exactly the same system, but not written the same way. That's just the only difference. Sometimes you will see katakana used in a stylistic way to make some words just pop up in the sentences, and but most of the time it's basically foreign words, maybe titles, stuff like that. And there's kanji. We won't be reviewing kanji today because kanji is a mess. It is very difficult to handle. So yeah, and it's not a syllabic system. Kanji are derivated from the Chinese characters, which are Hanji. So that's it. Today we will just watch hiragana and katakana. And basically you can write everything with just Hiragana and Katakana, even just Hiragana. So kanji is just a plus if you want to show what you to use specific words. Bric-a-brac. I know kanji are more related to Chinese characters. Many of them directly relate to Chinese equivalents and even Korean. Yeah, that's it. I'm not sure about the history of written characters in Asia, but I know that Chinese are basically the first point, the entry point for a lot of things. And yeah, basically on the Japanese side, they just used Chinese characters. They changed them a bit. They changed the pronunciation of the Chinese characters, and so they made them their own system based on that, basically. So kanji are Chinese characters modified a bit. For the Korean, I think Hangul. I think that's how they are pronounced. Hangul. Are maybe derivated too from Chinese, but they are very different still because there are a lot of roundish stuff, very round circles and strokes based. I don't know, but Japan, but Korea didn't even have its own writing system till the late 15th century. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. That's when King Sejong invented Hangul. Okay. Good to know. So, on the two systems, so I will show you mainly Hiragana because it's a main system, main syllabic system. So as you can see, you have on vowels, you have A, I, U, E, O. On consonants, you have a bit more. Y is considered to be a consonant because it combines with the other vowels. So in Japanese, it's kind of a consonant. But that's pretty much it. You just combine one vowel with one consonant and you have one syllable. So very simple. So without any consonant, you have just the vowel. It's already a syllable. So you have A, I, U, E, O. So for English speakers, it may be a bit difficult. It's more close to the French pronunciation. So that's why I kind of find it a bit easy for me. But for English speakers, it's a bit more complicated because usually R is pronounced A in English. So yeah, that's the difference. So in Japanese, it's A. I, it's not I, like in English, it's I. U. U is a bit in the middle of the French style U, and U. So it's a bit in between. It's U. A bit tricky. That's a tricky one. U is always the tricky one. The E that you can see here is pronounced E. And we have O. It's a roundish O. So A, I, U, E, O. Make it sound like English has any consistency at all. Yeah, because back. To be honest, if you find English inconsistent, don't learn French. Yeah, we really don't learn French because it's like irregulars are more present than regulars sometimes. So that's very, very tricky. But yeah, English. I know you can sometimes you pronounce a like a and not a, and I like e, not I. But yeah, it depends. It depends. Yeah, basically. So there's no clear rule. But yeah, French is worse. So just to repeat, a, I, U, E, O. The pronunciation is the same in katakana. Everything is the same in katakana as in regards of the pronunciation. Oh, I did learn French for a few years at school. Poet. Oh, pretty rusty now, though. Yeah, yeah. I will send you my condolences for learning French. I hope you survived it. But yeah, that's a tough one. But yeah, congratulations on surviving French learning. I hope you didn't dive too deep into it because yeah, that's the more you dive, the more it's a mess. Yeah. So A, I, U, E, O. So not too hard, except the U that is tricky, as I said. But A, I, E, O, it's kind of okay, I guess. So if you add now to this the consonant, it's as simple as just logic. So with the K, it's just Ka, Ki, Ku, Ke, Ko. That's it. Ka, Ki, Ku, Ke, Ko. So it's the same K as in English, basically, and in French. And you just add to the ahi, hu, he, ho from the vowel. And you do the same with everything else, basically. So with the S, it's sa, shi, su, se, so. So first irregular, shi. Shi is a bit tricky because what you expect to have is sa, si, su, se, so. But si doesn't exist in Japanese. This is a sound that doesn't exist in Japanese. So every time you have foreign words pronounced by a Japanese person, they will always pronounce the C like she. So Yeah. So in the Romanized way, you add the H, and you have the Romanized way to write it. Yeah. It happens. Exactly the same in Korean. Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I guess we will probably see a lot of similarities between Korean and Japanese. Yeah, slash suceso. Okay. I didn't know it was exactly the same. That's interesting. But yeah, I guess there are a lot of common grounds in Asian languages, and that's one of them. Yeah, so that's an irregular. But as you can see, the other ones are pretty much logical and easy, kinda. With the T has two irregulars, so it's a bit trickier. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. So ta, te, and to are pretty much the same. No problem there. But what you would expect it to be is ta, ti, tsu, te, to. Maybe, if you are logical. But no. T and 2 doesn't exist in Japanese. So it's chi. So it's not chi, it's not she, it's chi. So the TCH kinda. And 2 doesn't exist. It is tsu. So TSU. So it's ta, chi, tsu, de, to. Ta, chi, tsu, de, to. So two irregulars here. One for the S. Like tsuki. Yeah. In fact, this tsu is the tsu from tsuki. It's the same. If you take the name tsuki, so tsuki, it's just tsu, this one, and ki, this one. So just with this, you can very easily get the pronunciation. So tsuki, tsuki. That's how you pronounce this name. Yeah. Yeah, very easy. Once you get in mind all the pronunciations of all the syllables, it's just easy to pronounce anything, kinda. So there are a few specific rules, but like 90% of the pronunciation of the syllables will help you pronounce anything in Japanese. Yeah. So tsuki is tsuki. So the N has no irregular. So it's na, ni, nu, ne, no. Na, ni, nu, ne, no. I think the pronunciation's gonna be easier than remembering other letters. Yeah. Yeah, that's most of the time that's how it works in Japanese for people. I learned the pronunciation before I learned how to write it. And you can learn very easily how to read it. Reading the symbols is easier than writing it, but really it's not that hard. Really, like maybe you would need 1 or 2 weeks to get used to at least reading them and pronunciating them, sorry. Writing them, maybe it will take a bit more time, but there are simple rules on how to write them that help remembering with practice. Yeah, just practice, basically. So yeah, nothing too hard there. So nani nu ne no. The H. Oh, the H is a bit tricky. So it's kinda the same as the aspired H in English, but there's one irregular here, which is with the U. So it's ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. So it's a bit aspired, not too much, but it's a bit aspired. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. The hu is more like an F, a bit, but it's very slight. So you would expect ha, hi, hu, he, ho, but it's hu. So you have a slight F in the pronunciation. But really, when you pronounce it to Japanese people, you can just make a hu or a hu. It's the same for them. It's not so hard to understand because it's the only one. There's no other hu that exists. It's just this one. So yeah, it's easy to know. So basically, you have nearly the same as the simple a, I, u, e, o. But you just add the aspired H. Yeah, that makes more sense too. Yeah, it's more fluid when you pronounce with words. It's easier to the ear. So yeah, everything makes more sense basically when you get to the words and how you pronounce them, how you combine the syllables together. But yeah. So we saw the H, now the M. M is easy, nothing special there. So it's ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Again, with the aforementioned surname is Fukutomi. So here it's actually count as Fukutomi. Yeah, you can, yeah. The romanized way of writing it. Yeah, I'd say the official way is with the F, but if you write it with an H, it works too because there's no ambiguity there. It's just Fukutomi. So yeah, as long as there's no ambiguity, you can use whichever. But yeah, when you get to writing in the Japanese way, you just don't mind anymore about the romanized way. But yeah, any of the two is okay, basically. So that's it. So mami mumemo. So the M is really basic. The Y is counted as a consonant because it combines with the vowels, and it's pretty easy to understand why, because Y can very easily combine with A, for example, and make Ya. Simple as that. But you have only 3 there. The E version doesn't exist. The A version doesn't exist either. So it's just Ya, You, Yo. Ya, You, Yo. So, for example, in Mario, the character Yoshi, it's this Yo, Yo, Shi, Yoshi. So yeah, simple. Just you will never see with the E and the A. Doesn't exist. So the R, pretty simple too. It's simple yes and no, because the R is pronounced between the L and the R in English. So it's more like between L and R, and I'd say it's more the beginning is more an L and the end is more an R, sorry. So it's la ri ru re ro, la ri ru re ro. It's a hard one. Oh, the same in Korean. Okay, great. That's great. So basically, for those out there that know Korean, it's gonna be easier, I guess. So it's in between the L and the R. La, ri, ru, re, ro. The W, oops, one picture. The W is, yeah, it's pretty much easy. There are 2 of them only, the A version and the O version. Wa, wo. Wa, wo. And there's a little, the N doesn't combine here. So there's a N with combination here. This line we already saw, but there's also a little N that exists by itself. Same as the Korean. Yeah, I don't know. I should get to Hangul sometime. But yeah, yeah, I see. I see. So this N, all by himself, is pronounced the nasal way. It's like a mm. I don't know if you can hear it clearly because it's nasal, and it's pretty much just a sound effect at this point. Oh yeah, because some syllables just end in an N sound. Yeah. Like for example, an easy example, the noun Rin, it's a first name, so the first name Lin is basically Ri, this one, and so it's rin. That's it. That Korean letter is pronounced rir, 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 something like that, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's great to have the Korean equivalent because yeah, you can see the similarities, and that's interesting. I know also that some Japanese words are you can get them in Korean too. For example, yaksoku, yaksoku, which means promise in Japanese. Yaksoku is the same as yaksok in Korean. So yaksok, yaksok, it's the same word. And I don't know the story behind that. I don't know why. I guess it's because of the yeah. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I guess it's because of the time the Japanese were in Korea. I won't just a guess, or maybe it comes from Chinese. I don't know, but yeah, yaksoku in Japanese is the same as yaksok in Korean. Yeah. So that's it. We basically saw every consonant, vowel combined. We have another thing down there that is very special. This is the nasal and the I don't know how to say it, but yeah, basically the nasal consonants and the P that is a bit different. It's more p, like in English, like in French. It's very staccato pronunciation. So yeah, that exists too in Japanese. Yeah, promise is very similar. Blimey, I'm lagging hard. Oh, you're lagging hard. Let me check if I have. No. No problem on my side, it seems. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe refresh will help. Yeah, just let me know if you have any issues. But yeah, I guess on my side it's okay. Seems okay. Okay, great. Oh, not so great, but great for me. Not great for you. Yeah. So yeah. So the nasal consonants. So you have the G, the Z, the D, and the B. So the pronunciation is very easy. So G is, as you can see, it's the same as the K. It's a K line, but you add the two little strokes. It helped a bit. It just means our conversation's gonna be a bit slow. Okay, okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, so yeah, the G line is the same as the K line, but with two little strokes on the upper right corner. So it's you have the K here, for example. The K is like that, with a little stroke here. And you add two smaller ones in the upper right corner. Very badly done, but that's kind of it. So you have the two little ones up there, which mean it's a nasal one. So it's ga. So ka with this becomes ga. And it's the same with the rest of the line. So you have ki, which becomes gi, ku, which becomes gu, ke, which becomes ge, and ko becomes go. That's it. Ga, gi, gu, ge, go. Ga, gi, gu, ge, go. The Z, it's the same as the S line, but nasalized. So, yeah, I remember learning about the strokes here. Yeah, so it's not hard. Just you see the strokes, you know, okay, it's a nasal version. So, the K becomes the G, the S becomes the Z. So, sa, shi, su, se, so becomes za, ji, zu, ze, zo. So it's a bit tricky because you expect za, zi, zu, ze, zo, but there's no z. Z doesn't exist in Japanese. It's G. G. With a J. So the ji, zu, ze, zo. So that's an irregular one. But as you can see, it's the same one that is irregular in S line than in Z line. Again, there's a similar phenomenon in Hangul, where B and P are related, G and K, D and T, S and GZ. Yeah. GZ. Yeah. So that's great. I think people who learn Korean must have some easier way to learn Japanese this way. Yeah, great. Great. So yeah, the Z line has the same irregularity as the S line with the she. She becomes chi. And you'll get the same with the D line. The D line is like the T, so it's tachitsuteto becomes da ji zu dedo. Da ji zu dedo. So in fact, so you expect da dedo, but you get da chi zu dedo. So basically, G and G are the same pronunciation. It's exactly the same pronunciation. But it's not the same character. That's the only thing that is really weird with the Japanese pronunciations is one way of pronouncing a word. G can be either one of those two ways to write it. So the G from the Z line or the G from the D line. But yeah, it's more like when you know the words, you know where it comes from. So you'll get the right one down the line very passively, I'd say. But that's it. So you see that the irregularity is on the same ones in the T line than in the D line. So we have two lines left. We have the B and the P. So the B one is a mirror of the H1. So ha, hi, hu, he, ho becomes ba, bi, bu, be, bo. So ba, bi, bu, be, bo. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing in Korean too, and full of letters are pronounced the same. So you can't necessarily tell by sound what letter you need. In Japanese, it's the only one that is like that. Everything else is different. Yeah, it's just sorry, the G and the G, those two. But yeah, basically you just there's no D. You just have GG, the same. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, the B line is regular. Even the foo becomes boo, but yeah, it's a B like the other ones, so no problem there. Interesting that B and P are related related to H. Yeah, they're both related to the H line because yeah, it's the B line is the nasal version of the H line, and the P line is the more staccato version of the H line. So for the P line, what you get is pa, pi, pu, pe, po. Pa, pi, pu, pe, po. So ha, hi, hu, he, ho becomes pa, pi, pu, pe, po. So it's just you add the staccato on the H line. So it's just like having in Pokemon two different evolution paths for Pokemon. That's a weird analogy, but yeah, I can't think of anything else. So yeah, basically you have two different ways. You have the nasal way and the staccato way. Just thinking it'd be more obvious to connect them to the aim line. Yeah. Yeah, it would be more easily thought so, but yeah, no, it's not. It's H1. Yeah, that could be a tricky part to get, but yeah, as usual, it's just practice. You practice every line. You can practice line by line. You get in order from just the A, the vowel line, then the K's and the S, and you learn that like that line by line, and you learn to write them. Well, first you learn to read them, then you learn to write them, and when you get to those lines, the nasal one and the staccato, the P1, you just try to get your brain to understand that it comes from the H1, the B and the P. But yeah, this one may not be as obvious as the other ones. So yeah, that's basically it. We got all the pronunciation done. It's exactly the same in katakana. The thing with katakana is you just need to know how to read the characters, but the pronunciation is the same. So, reminder, a, I, U, E, O, ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, sa, shi, su, se, so, ta, chi, tsu, te, to, na, ni, nu, ne, no, ha, hi, fu, he, ho, ma, mi, mu, me, mo, ya, yu, yo, la, li, ru, re, ro, wa, o,ん、が、ぎ、ぐ、げ、ご、ざ、じ、つ、ぜ、ぞ、だ、じ、ず、で、ど、ば、び、ぶ、べ、ぼ、ぱ、ぴ、ぷ、べ、ぼ。That's it. So yeah, it takes a bit of practice, but just the pronunciation and the reading, you can get them done in 2 weeks, I'd say. If you do that thoroughly, and yeah, it's not that hard to know how to pronounce them, how to read them, because they're different enough. Some of them are a bit, they look alike a bit, like for example the ho and the ma. They look very similar, so it can be a bit tricky. There are some like that that I had time to differentiate when I learned how to read them. Yeah, same with the mo. Mo, ho, and ma are very similar in a way. Yeah, there are some of them like that that can be a bit tricky. Yeah, like the sa and chi, they look a bit like mirrored ones, kind of. So they are a bit tricky too. But yeah, most of them are not so hard to learn. So that's it. Yeah, so it's already been an hour just for the pronunciation. I was a bit slower than I expected. Yeah, so that's it for hiragana and katakana. So reminder, hiragana is used in Japanese words. You can write everything in hiragana, no issue. You don't need kanji, which are the high level characters. You can write everything in hiragana as you can hangul, write everything in hangul in Korean. Katakana is just the same. You could write everything in katakana very easily. Just some examples like the word katana. Everybody knows that. It's ka-ta-na. So for the writing, it would be ka-ta-na. So this is the hiragana way. Ka-ta-na. Ka-ta-na. That's it. And if you, for example, the word in English table, in Japanese, it's table. So in katakana, it would be, wait. It can be te. Okay, I lost the chat. Here it is. Te. There's another character that I won't be talking about today, but there's another character there. But you had the bu. Where is it? Oh, I lost it. Here. And the ru. There. Teburu. Kanji is to Japanese what hanja is to Korean. Chinese characters which can be useful but far from necessary. Yeah, I'd say kanji is necessary if you want to read in a journal or in the newspaper, I mean, or if you want to read signs in the street. There are kanjis everywhere. So you kind of need them to understand stuff in everyday life. Because most of the time they don't just put the hiragana version of it. Words are a combination of kanji and hiragana when you see them in the everyday life. So you will most likely see kanji everywhere, but you could write everything without the kanji. It's possible. Japanese people will understand as long as they have a context for the words. But yeah, kanji are very present in the signs and everything. So can't really do without it. But for your own sake, for you can just use hiragana and it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, basically if I take like I will take a word. Let me think. The word for to eat. So to eat. In Japanese is taberu. So you could write it taberu this way, or you could write it this way. This is the ta kanji for the word taberu. When you read a sign, you will see this kanji used instead of ta. So you can use this for yourself for understanding purpose. But yeah, when you read signs, when you read the newspaper, anything, you will see this. So that's why it's kanji is still useful and required when you want to dive into Japanese. Because basically this is a Chinese version of the meaning of eating. So it's this kanji that helps people know that you are talking about the action of eating. So it's taberu, eating, to eat. Sorry. Yeah. I won't go into details like in this because we are into the basics today. But yeah, there are a lot more to kanji than meets the eye. But yeah, if today you can go out of this stream of this video knowing, okay, this is how you read Japanese, this is how you pronounce it, and if you can go to a YouTube video and read the title of the video, it's a win. So yeah, like for example, with today's lesson, you will know that the singer Ado is pronounced Ado and not Edo. It's not Ado, it's Ado. So in Hiragana, it would be Ado. So yeah, the Chinese characters carry meaning more than sounds. Yeah, that's it. It's exactly this. So kanji is the same because it comes from the Chinese characters. So kanji carry the meaning more than a sound, more than a pronunciation. So that's why I say kanji is not a syllabic system. It's an ideogram. I'm not sure of the English way how to say it, but it's the idea of something. It's a sense of something. So words have their sense carried by the kanji. Yeah, no problem. It's my pleasure. So I hope you had a good time today. I went a bit over the time with this, but yeah, I am quite glad that we got to the hiragana, the katakana. I didn't have time to show you how you write hiragana and katakana, but that will be for the next stream that I will do on Japanese basics. Ideogram, ideogram, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I hope you had a great time. I hope you have a great time in the future watching this video and that it's not too blurry for you. If you have any question, you can go to my Discord page, Discord server. I have a Twitter account too, Latverius Games. And yeah, thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, bye.